Welcome to the shooting show. This week, Jason Doyle provides us with a triple bill of Irish shotgun and rifle sport utilising 3 quarry species. Plus we bring you all the latest news from the shooting world. Over in Ireland, Jason Doyle's making an early start on his New Year's resolution to get ahead with pest control. He's lined up an afternoon at the pigeons, and we might even get a chance at a fox after that, and possibly some ducks the day after. This is going to be a 2-man job, as Jason's joined for the occasion by shooting buddy John. With John taking a semi-auto and Jason opting for an over and under, there may be a little competition between their two contrasting styles. We send the camera with Jason to see how he gets on.
We're out on pigeons for a couple of hours this evening. Pigeons coming into roost. There's big forestry here and the pigeon numbers have been building steadily. So it's a really good windy evening for pigeon shooting, so we've come up to give it a go. A lot of birds initially here early as we walked in. It's gone quiet now, but hopefully within the next half hour the numbers will start coming back into roost fairly strong. Using my own Blazer F3 Sporter 32-inch. Gun I've had for a long time. I shoot really nicely with it, very happy with it. And Ely VIP 32 gram 5s with a photo degradable wad.
The high wind is really pushing the birds on. It's not going to be an easy shoot. As we survey the treetops, it's not long until they start to come in thick and fast. The first woodies are too high to take on, but Jason soon gets his chance. And after an initial miss or two, he starts to take them down. On the other side of the wood, John Lambert's getting stuck in too. It's difficult conditions to shoot and film in, never mind doing both at the same time, but between them, the boys get a reasonable bag.
That turned out to be a super evening on the pigeons. Didn't shoot quite as well as I'd liked, but had some really nice kills. It was very windy this evening. Birds were flying fast and high, and pigeons on a strong wind are really difficult to track, difficult to read the line, and if they see it all, they just turn the wings, catch the wind, and they're gone. I'm really happy with the catches. I was using the Ely VIP 32 gram 5s. These particular VIPs are with Ely's photo degradable wad, which I'm really pleased with. I'm not a big fan of fibre wad cartridges. Through my backboard barrels in my Blazer F3, I just feel that the patterns aren't quite as good as you get with a plastic wad, but these photo degradable wads from Ely seem to be a really good compromise. I was getting good kills and you get really good patterns. The other guy with me, John, he shot about 10 or 12 birds as well and had a few nice retrieves. So yeah, great evening. And just on the way home I had a phone call from my buddy Stephen, who's about to head out for some foxes, even though it's a very windy night, probably a little bit too windy to be trying to call foxes. But he got a phone call from a farmer yesterday who's having awful trouble with foxes coming into his farmyard and taking his chickens and ducks. So we're going to go out now and see if we can catch up with a couple of them. I won't be doing the shooting myself. I'm going to swap shotgun for camera and follow Stephen and see if we can get a couple of foxes.
Fast forward a few hours and we've switched shotgun for rifle for the second instalment of our pest control mission. Conditions are no easier with the wind still up, but Jason and Stephen have been out in worse. With a deer hunter jacket apiece, they're protected from the worst of the elements.
It was a little bit too windy really to be trying to call foxes. You couldn't hear anything beyond 100-150 yards, but we had a good idea where there were some. As I said earlier, the farmer had been on and been complaining about foxes coming into the yard during the day and at night taking chickens and ducks. So we started at the far end of the farm, right next to a small village, and there's a heavy cover area where we set up 100-150 yards and gave a few calls. Really windy this evening. At one stage you could see Stephen actually loses his hat. That's how windy it was. Probably a 20-25 mile an hour wind. Very difficult conditions to call foxes.
A second round of calling finally produces the results we want.
The big old dog fox stuck his head out, just came a couple of paces out of the cover, and Stephen managed a nice shot on him.
Stephen was confident in the shot, despite the wind, and the fox appeared to go down on the spot. Eager to make absolutely sure, we head over to the shot location to confirm death and see how the gecko bullet performed.
I can quite is.
What round was it?
105 gecko.
That's one dog fox down, but the night isn't over yet. Heading to the next likely location, we give the call another go.
Then we loaded up, went into the farmyard, to the home place, and we had a look there. We saw 3 or 4 foxes. At one stage we had one at about 200 yards. It was just too far in those conditions to take the shot. Backstop was fine, everything was safe, but it was just too windy. Stephen wasn't comfortable taking the shot. And it's very important in any sort of rifle shooting to know your limitations and understand that your limitations change as the conditions vary.
We might pick him up if we go to the left and the gate down at the bottom oak. We'll come down the lane and we'll come into the first field and we might see him, although he is travelling that way. If he keeps going that way, we'll get him up at the other side of the farm on the way back.
Wasting no time, we reduce the distance with a foot stalk, and then it's back to the call.
We knew where the fox was and the direction she was going, so we headed around to try and head her off. And a short walk later, luckily we just walked straight in on top of her in a field. She was in a little bit of dead ground lying down. As soon as the lamp hit her, she turned to walk away.
Two foxes on the ground is a good result for any night out, and inspecting the carcass confirms another clean shot.
Little vixen. Oh, she's very dark compared to the last one. Yeah. Small little lady.
Great to get 2 on the one farm.
So great evening. 2 nice foxes gone off to farmer's place. Everybody will be happy.
Day 2 of our sporting foray in Ireland, and this afternoon there's a duck shoot on the cards. We join our guns as they line out.
I think they're not actually with the wind. It's going to be kind of that direction where they are. Yeah, it's hard to know. Yeah, they could be gone, so we're quite quick though. We could. Yeah. I said
a couple of lads down on the standing, man.
The minute to get up, it's going to be pulling the trigger.
Not wanting to fix what isn't broken, we send the camera with Jason Doyle once more. Once again, the windy and rainy conditions may complicate matters, but Jason is unperturbed, probably because in Ireland it's like this every day. After initial wait, the driven ducks soon come overhead in good numbers. Jason's getting a lot of action, but sees plenty of misses to go alongside the kills. But he's taking them cleanly when he does connect, and giving his young Labrador plenty of chances to work.
Oh, good shot.
Get on.
Johnny.
Jason is certainly doing well as he brings a couple more ducks down. This pond is fed hard and not shot too many times during the season, ensuring good sport and a healthy population of driven duck and flighting in the evening. After a brief pause, the shooting gets going again. Unbelievably, the wind has picked up even further. The cameraman's struggling to stand up, let alone film anything, but Jason's obviously made of stern stuff as he picks another shot. The sport has slowed down now as the wind puts many of the ducks too high for an ethical shot. Jason takes a moment to pick up his nearby birds, ensuring that everyone's shot goes into the food chain. Then he's back to it.
Not a good rangefinder to actually look in the sky like that, just
Don't need a rangefinder to know that they're out of range.
The action dies down as the flight comes to a natural end, but Jason has shot well in these conditions and amassed a reasonable bag. We finish the pickup just as light fails.
Well, I finished up a great evening on the ducks. We picked 31 birds between 5 of us. I was lucky enough I shot 7 and picked all 7 myself. My Labrador worked really well. It's great work for the dogs this evening. The averages weren't great. We probably fired 10 shots for every duck, but it was really windy. Ducks flew really well. They flew high and fast, and it was great fun. Duck shooting is probably my favourite sport with a shotgun. We released 40 ducks on the small pond and we feed it hard, and we got quite a lot of wild ducks in. We got some good shooting early on. They were probably our rare ducks. There were some ducks disappeared into the distance straight away. They were probably wild ones that had been feeding on it. Came towards the edge of dark then, and there was 1s and 2s dropped back in, and we got some shooting at them. We haven't shot them early. We got these ducks in June, so we like to shoot them when they're totally mature. The drakes are well coloured up. There's no pin feathers on the breast. They're good heavy ducks, good to eat. So yeah, great evening. It's our first duck shoot this year. We'll leave it another 3 or 4 weeks now and get down there for some more fun.
Some slick shooting from Jason Doyle there. And now, it's the Shooting Show News.
This is the Shooting Show News. Shooting was included in the New Year Honours list as British skeet coach Joe Neville received an MBE. Having himself won 3 Commonwealth medals and shot the best ever British skeet performance at the Olympics, Joe has gone on to coach some of our best athletes, including Ian Peel, Sarah Wixie, Rory Warlow and Amber Hill. He joins George Digweed, Peter Wilson and Ian Coley on the list of recently honoured shooters. Read the full story in Clay Shooting magazine, out next week. The UK Game Fair is building steam as more and more exhibitors reveal their plans for the must-attend event this July. A number of major brands have teased new product launches at the show, including Deer Hunter, Scott Country, Optics, The Shooting Party and Mord & Fox. That adds to previous announcements from the likes of Yamaha and Vauxhall and Edmiston. Don't miss the new flagship event for field sports taking place at Stoneleigh from the 22nd to the 24th of July. Fox hunting stays in the news as the Scottish Government announced a review of its hunting law. The Countryside Alliance said this review was unnecessary but committed to work with the politicians carrying it out. Attendance was high once again at the New Year's Day meets, illustrating that support for hunting remains as strong as ever. The 2015 badger cull trials hit their targets, it's been announced. The 3 cull areas in Gloucestershire, Somerset and Dorset all stayed within the minimum and maximum cull quotas, the first time this has happened. As a result, the government is looking at expanding the culls this year, and it says half the country will be TB free by 2019. And finally, Basque membership has climbed to a new peak. It grew by more than 4,000 in 2015, the organisation reports, and now sits at nearly 145,000 members. Basque's David Ilsley said new members valued the association's unsurpassed commitment to both promoting and defending shooting. That was the Shooting Show News.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you're not a member of Basque, it's time to join now. Basque, looking after your sport, looking after you. This has been The Shooting Show.